Ladies and gentlemen, if you did or did not know, Kevin Magnussen is a couple points away from getting a race ban, and these points on his super license won't go away until March 9th of next year, I believe, of next season. So it's looking pretty darn sure that he's going to be getting a race ban sometime this season. But we have an article from Planet F1 where Ralf Schumacher, the younger brother of Michael Schumacher, has a lot to say about it, about Kevin Magnussen. I'll read you the title right now. It says, Gone verdict delivered as Kevin Magnussen courts F1 race ban. And, we kind of get an insight on what Ralf thinks about this. So I thought this would be a really cool article to read, kind of get insight on, go inside the mind of Ralf and, get his full opinion. So without further ado, let's read it. Hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. Kevin Magnussen may be a great guy off the track, but Ralf Schumacher says when the visor comes down, all of that is gone, and it will earn him a race ban before 2024 season is over. Haas driver Kevin Magnussen has made headlines for all the wrong reasons this season. So much his antics have Formula One stewards urging the FIA to tighten the regulations. Kevin Magnussen wants to run headfirst into a wall. Kevin Magnussen has now twice played defender in order to help his teammate Nico Hulkenberg score some points, but has colored outside the lines while doing so. His antics in Jeddah against Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon, in which the Dane went off the track in order to regain his position, were frowned on and earned Magnussen a time penalty, while the stewards were a lot more harsh in their verdict in Miami given his multiple transgressions. That Saturday, Magnussen was hit with several time penalties for exceeding track limits and with a black and white flag given on the third occasion during his defense against Lewis Hamilton. Come the end of the mini race, which I think is a sprint race, he was also slapped with penalty points, pushing him onto 8, while further 2 when he clashed with Logan Sargent in the Grand Prix means he's up to 10. That's 2 away from an automatic race ban. He will manage it this year too if he keeps it going like this, said Ralf Schumacher. Magnussen won't lose a single point until 9th of March next season, leaving the Dane to contest the final 2/3 of the F1 season, just 2 points away from a ban. He was, at least according to the pundits, fortunate not to be hit with those 2 points in Monaco when he crashed into Sergio Perez on the opening lap. Sticking his nose up the inside of the Red Bull at a point where no one could argue that it was ill-advised, the two collided and were out of the race, with Nico Hulkenberg being the unfortunate victim. The stewards rule no further action, but Schumacher believes that Magnussen was in the wrong. He actually brings up a good point talking about the crash in Monaco because watching the race itself, looking at the crash on board with all the drivers, you kind of couldn't tell who was in the wrong. Nobody got a penalty for it, but it kind of looked like maybe Sergio Perez didn't give Kevin enough space, or in here it says Kevin maybe sticking it too far close or too close to the Red Bull. I don't know, causing a crash definitely would you would have imagined give a couple penalty points, but Kevin Magnussen came away unscathed from that one. Penalty points wise, I mean, his car was broken and whatnot, but penalty points wise, he was fine. But looking back on it now, I mean, hearing what Ralf Schumacher has to say, it's like, it kind of brings up a good point. Obviously, no, like I said, nobody got in trouble for it, so I'm not gonna try and get any in trouble for it, or say who I think it was. But yeah, no, I think that's very important to point out. And then Ralf follows up saying, quote, where would Magnussen have gone? He would have been on the outside in the next corner, so I don't understand the point of it, end quote. Declaring that Magnussen always wants to run headfirst into the wall, he added, quote, outside the cockpit, he is an extremely nice and a great family man, but when the visor goes down, you almost get the impression that some of the things that are usually there are gone. Now you can say, yes, Perez might have, blah, 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 but Magnussen there with the front wheel, he doesn't belong there. Magnussen's expected race ban has led to yet more rumors about his future with Haas, keen on signing Oliver Bearman as one of their 2 drivers in 2025. With Nico Hulkenberg heading to Audi, it was initially thought that Magnussen could stay to guide the rookie, but now Haas are reportedly keen on Esteban Ocon or Zhou Guanyu. We'll see what happens with that, with the Esteban Ocon thing. I don't remember when this came out. This came out yesterday, so I don't know if it was before or after the Esteban thing, but who knows. So it kind of makes sense why they would, why the rumors would come about after, him having 10 penalty points, with Ollie Bearman being the reserve driver for Haas and being a very good option, and, them having more options like Zhou or Esteban, it really does bring up a lot of questions and speculation that I think people are going to take advantage of and, kind of try and figure out themselves. And what I think, just in my personal understanding of it, is that Kevin is a good driver, right? He's very defensive driver, but he does a lot of crazy things. But it's kind of the same as seeing Lance Stroll just absolutely run into the back of Daniel Ricciardo during one of the races, or China. Like you can kind of say the same about that. Now, obviously, it's different. The whole Aston Martin situation with Lance Stroll and his father and all that. Sure, you can make that argument, but I think that it's no different than saying stuff like that. Like, obviously, saying Kevin Magnussen is a great guy, great family man. He is a good guy, so I don't think he has any bad intentions with this. But as a driver, you're a completely different person from what I understood. You're a completely different person when you're in the car, and when you put the visor down, like what Ralf said, because he has been in F1 before. He won like 6 races, so he knows what he's talking about. So he knows a lot more than I do. I'm just reading this, what he had to say, all this public knowledge. So who knows? At the end of the day, right? Just Kevin's doing his thing. He's driving. He should calm down. Definitely, like that's a must. But I think seeing him in a Haas next year, I wouldn't be too anyway about it. So we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, the season is just getting started, so it's all up to fate now, I should say. So yeah, we'll see what we have. More on this later. We'll see what happens in Canada this weekend. And yeah, without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.